Um, let's take a look at another program. This is the word counter program. And this is the one that calls Gettysburg Address. Let's take a look at it. Word counter. So let's run it first. And you'll note that if we open up the file that it is calling, take a look at that. Note in the first set of materials that I gave you, I left off the S in Gettysburg. And if you run it with the misspelled name of the text file in the same folder that you have the program, you'll get a runtime error. So you need to change that name to Gettysburg Address. Let's see what this, let's open up that file as well. So if we go to Gettysburg Address, this is Abraham Lincoln's famous speech 7 years ago. Note that it has punctuation in it. It's got commas. It's got periods. It's got uppercase and lowercase letters. When the sentences begin, it's got dashes. Also, you can't see this, but, and I believe we've mentioned this previously, a text file, even though when you open it up in Notepad or WordPad, looks like it's just all text, it also, in the actual file itself, it has escape characters, \n, which causes it to throw a new line right here. There's one here that you can't see, and then there's another one right here that you can't see. Okay, so what happens when we run this program? Well, it's pretty cool. And what it does is this. And wow, let's take a look. So what do we have here? We have a bunch of words, individual words, including some that look a little strange, and a number. And if you look more carefully, the number didn't filter something out there. The number is the frequency of the word. So let's take a look at the code and figure out how this is working. And I don't have notes, but I'll try to figure it out here. So the main, first of all, fetches the text file. It has to be in the same directory as the program. And then it successively calls a number of different functions, get words from file, count words, and display the word count. So let's look at the first one, get words from file. Up here, and we didn't really talk about this, but this open, what open does is it takes the file and makes it available to the session using file read. So file read will just simply read the entire string from the file and put it in this variable text. So we've got the text as it originally exists in this file. Notice what we're doing down here. We are stripping out the new line characters. We're replacing, in this case, we're replacing the new line character with just a simple space, a blank. We're also replacing the commas with a blank, and we're also replacing the periods with a blank. Finally, we're stripping out all of the uppercase letters using the lower method. Okay, and then if you recall, split words right now will be, or I should say text right now will be the original text, but it will be missing all of this stuff. All of the new line characters will be gone. All of the punctuation will be gone. And all of the uppercase letters will also be gone. Okay, then it will take text and it'll convert it to a list and words. So each word, what you'll have is a list of each individual word with a space in between it. Okay, and then what do we do next? And then we count the words. Okay, so how does count work? Well, we initialize. We're going to create an empty dictionary. We initialize word underscore count to be empty, and we add each word that's in the list to word count. This is incrementing the count for the words, and this is adding words that have a count of 1. So every time it encounters a new word up here, it increases the count for that word. And then here, it just simply adds words with a count of 1, returns word count, then displaying word count, we make a list of the keys from the dictionary. So what do we have in the dictionary? We have the word and we have the count, right? So the key is the word and the value of that key value pair is the count. And then we change that to a list and we sort it and do this stuff. So why do we end up with this? Notice it's all, these are the key value pairs, and they are in alphabetical order because we use sort. And it messed up on a couple of things. I'm not sure where this comes from. Not sure what that is, but it seems to repeat. It's some sort of special character that seems to be repeating in our Gettysburg address file. But other than that, it works pretty well. So why might you want to do such a silly thing as this? Well, if you get into natural language processing at all, very common functions in natural language processing is this one, where you want to see how many times words are used. The more times words are used, the more importance they have to the context, the sense of whatever the passage is, right? And you can also, there are indexes of emotional contents of words. Some words have more emotional content than others. And so you might try to deduce some sort of meaning to the words as well by noting how many words, the frequency of different words that exist, and whether those words have some sort of loaded content or not, or specific content. So you can do a lot of things with language, and I'm sure it's progressed a lot since I studied natural language processing, which was a while ago. Witness Chat GPT, but it's a pretty cool program. Okay, so let's see what else we have. And we're getting near the end here. Let's see. Word counter. Okay, some other things you can do with dictionaries. Dictionaries, again, these can be complex data structures where you have dictionaries within dictionaries. So, for example, here we created a dictionary called contacts, and it has 3 key values. Joel, which refers, the value for the key Joel is this entire dictionary. And Anne is a key, which the value for Anne is this entire dictionary. And Ben is a key, and the value for Ben is all this. But again, within each one of those, value dictionaries for Joel, Ann, and Ben, you have other sets of key value pairs. So Joel's address would map into this value, or Joel's state would map into this value, and so forth. So let's see if we can make some sense out of this. And let's see, I've got this somewhere. Should be slide 27. Right, and all this will do is establish this complex dictionary. So let's take a look. Let's run it. And then take a look at it. Oh, it printed it out for me. Looks like this, right? So what can we do with this? Well, we can do a couple of things. Let's try and reference, for example, Ann's phone.